Hey everyone, my name is Dean Fonseca, and today I wanted to talk to you about the life and death of Seneca the Younger. So, Seneca the Younger is a Roman philosopher and politician, and he's actually one of the founding members of Stoicism, and he was an advisor to the infamous Emperor Nero. So, the three things that I wanted to talk to you about are his rise to getting cast out to Corsica, to getting exiled, spending 8 years in exile, and then coming back from Nero's aunt to tutor Nero from a young age, and then once Nero takes the throne, to advise him, and eventually to the death of him by forced suicide from Nero. So I'm going to start with a quote saying that he who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. And I feel like this encompasses Seneca's life because he had many hardships in his life as well as good times. And he never let the bad times get to him or bring him down. He always kept a nice, strong head on his shoulders, and he was very courageous in his acts. And it just encompasses his philosophies and his ideals and who he was as a person. So early in his life, he was a politician in Rome. He was born over where Spain is now. And he moved to Rome and he became a politician. And he started working under Nero's father, who was emperor at the time. And he got caught up in a scandal with Nero's father, and he was kicked out to Corsica for 8 years. And with his use of Stoicism and his philosophy and his mindset, he actually was okay with getting kicked out, and he took it in stride. And his mother was actually very, very depressed and downtrodden because of his exile, but he wrote letters to his mother and helped her get through those times, even though it was him going through the hard times and not his mother. So after 8 years, Nero's aunt brings Seneca back to teach young Nero, to be his tutor and his advisor. So he ends up working for Nero, teaching him and mentoring him and tutoring him throughout a young age. And eventually, once Nero takes the throne, he advises him and he helps him with matters of running Rome at the time. And this was kind of a double-edged sword because Nero is a very infamous and very terrible ruler, and Seneca tried to influence Nero to do the best things and the best things for the people and for Rome at the time, but his influence was slowly fading away years after years, and to the point where Nero didn't trust Seneca anymore, and he believed that Seneca was caught in a scandal to overthrow Nero and to bring his rule to an end, and he actually ended up telling Seneca to commit suicide. So he made Seneca commit forced suicide. And to other people, it might sound like a terrible and tragic thing for them to have to kill themselves because of a ruler telling them to, but Seneca understood what his role in life was and what his role was in Rome, and he was actually preparing for this moment because he thought that he's just a piece of the puzzle of life and the world did not revolve around him. So he understood that if it was his time to go, then it was his time to go, and he wouldn't make a huge deal out of it. So he killed himself with no regrets, not looking back at anything. And he actually left a lot of letters and a lot of his ideas and philosophies behind when he was sending letters to his friends and family. And that's where we get most of his works from in Stoicism, and his works have guided people throughout ages, helping them understand their lives and how they fit into the world and the people and places around them, and to better get a better understanding of his philosophy and his ideals and his life. And overall, that is the life and death of Seneca the Younger.